All right, hi everyone. Welcome back to another session of Boots on the Ground with DevRel, or Day in the Life of DevRel. I'm going to be continuing on with my previous sessions in the series for translating Hello World, the Hedera Hello World sequences from JavaScript into Go and Java, right? So what I have done since the last one is that I expanded on this list of actual tasks into the individual ones. And so where we left off previously was that we'd done the Java version of HFS files, and then we'd also done the Go version of the HFS files. And then subsequently I've gone and done create and fund account, and HTS fungible token, as well as HTS topic, right? So these were pretty much just continuations or, following the same patterns as what you saw with the HFS files SDK with Go. And so I've just been continuing doing that, with these. Didn't see a need to record those specifically. And so what I'm going to be doing, I've been leaving this for last, right? Which is the HSCS smart contract. Now, you'll note that in the original Hello World, right? So I just completed this one. And in the original Hello World, we have these numbers, right? So the one that's implemented in JavaScript is 03. HSCS smart contract EthersJs, right? And this one is SDK, so I'm highlighting that difference. So we're using EthersJs, right, to deploy and interact with the smart contract, right? So you'll see a deployment method that looks like this, right? New contract factory, blah, blah, blah. And then to invoke the smart contract with a write transaction, it is done like this, right? This is an EthersJs contract and API, and then subsequently we have invocation of a read function on the smart contract, also via EthersJs smart contract object. Right now, there is no EthersJs that exists in Go and or in Java, and so I thought it'd be better that we have HSCS instead, right? Be done via the Hedera SDK rather than EthersJs. So in JavaScript, you have the option, you can use the Hedera SDK to interact with the, your smart contracts, right? With the smart contract service, or you could also use the SDK. So with JavaScript, it makes sense to use the EthersJs method because that's what EVM developers are more familiar with. But in the case of Java and with Go as well, I think it makes more sense to use the SDK. One less dependency and also less complication. You don't have to set up the RPC URL. All right. So that's going to be the difference, and that's the reason why I've decided to record this one, because I think I'm going to be doing something interesting, namely, spoiler alert, I'm going to be using ChatGPT for this. And yeah, okay, so, and then the other thing is I've also created a new list over here, which is a list of cleanup activities that I think need to be done at the end of it, right? I'm not going to go through all of that yet. The other thing is that my Git repo, I've been keeping it tidy, right? But local. And I decided, it's about time to push. So git remote -v, and you can see I put it in github.com under my username and then scratch hello world. And of course, it's not going to end up here. It's going to end up in the Hedera dev GitHub org, rather than my personal one, but for now this is where it lives. And I think the point of time when I will actually move it to Hedera dev is when I actually split this into two repos. So this is kind of existing as a scratch area, if you will, for me to experiment. Alright, that's that's all the preamble, and now we'll get started, right? So, let's see. So what I'm going to do now is close Java ones and close all the other ones. So I'm going to create O2 HSCS smart contract. Right, so O2 dash HSCS dash smart contract SDK. Right, so this one, the SDK distinction is important. Go mod init. And what am I going to do next? So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to copy the whole thing and touch script HSCS dash smart dot go. Paste that, delete, and I want to delete everything up until setting up the client object. Alright, and then I want to do a couple of installations. Go get and this as well. Got get, go get. Alright, there we go. So go run dot, just make sure that it prints out the account ID. Oh, we don't have the end file, cp dot dot slash or slash dot in. So just copying it from another directory. Right, and so now we've got a .env file here. And we run it. Okay, so it gets up until this point, which is great. Now we're ready to do the translation. Like I said, I am going to use ChatGPT to do the translation of this, but it isn't going to be a strict translation. That's why I've decided to do something different. I would like to do a different approach, right? So I'm going to, I think, keep these two tabs open. I'm going to need them. Just doing some housekeeping here, cleaning up all of the stuff that I have open from previously. Right, and what I want to do, I'm going to keep that open as well. I'm going to be using it. I'm going to go to hash graph and Hedera SDK Go, I think. Yep, Hedera SDK Go. And what I want to do was, that's a lot of files. Finally got to the README. I wanted to go to the Go reference. Right, so open that up in a new tab. Right, so this is the reference documentation for the Go SDK, and I wanted to have this handy. What I wanted to do was find the appropriate method for contract deployment, right? Control F, contract, right. So there are 393 references. There we go. This should have all of it. There we go. Contract create transaction. That's the one I'm after. See if I can. Aha, okay. Yep. So we've got contract create transaction menu somewhere. This one. Right, and then contract execute and contract function result, maybe, I think. So create a new smart contract instance, that's the one. Contract execute transaction is the next one I want, which is, yep. So, there's a typo there, it should be function with a T. Right. And then finally, I think, contract function result, maybe? No, that's the return type. Contract call query. Right, okay, so these are the ones I want, right? So contract create transaction, contract call query for the read operations, and contract execute transaction for the write transactions. Okay, so those are the three things that those are the three names I was looking at for. And so what those will substitute for in the code would be this, right? So we've got contract factory over here, right? That's going to substitute for the other one, contract create transaction. And then this one is the what was it? The write transaction, right? So this is the write transaction, and so this is going to be substituted for by contract execute transaction. And then finally we have this one, which is the contract read interaction, and that's going to be substituted for by contract call query, I believe. Where is that? Yeah, contract call query. So that is, we're going to be using that.